The KXAN News Podcast is sponsored by Shelf Genie.
Welcome to KXAN News Today. Here are your Wednesday morning headlines. The young Texans, including community leaders and artists, are taking over the Capitol today. They're heading there as the Texas Youth Power Alliance's youth takeover starts at 2 o'clock.
Today, TxDOT is breaking ground to improve I-35 in North Austin. The new I-35 project, Capitol Express North, is adding lanes, one in each direction along I-35 from SH-45 to US 290 East. The groundbreaking ceremony begins this morning at 10.
Honda is recalling more than 33,000 vehicles. The government says the glass on side view mirrors on certain cars could fall out, leaving drivers at a risk of crashing. The recall includes recent newer models of the Odyssey, Passport, Pilot, and Ridgeline.
As we kick off this Wednesday, we are starting the morning a little bit chilly.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Tom Miller.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sally Etnan. This is the coolest day of the week, huh?
Yeah, you know, I was looking at the numbers and thinking, yeah, okay, today's not going to be quite as comfortable as what we've had recently. But as I was making my 7-day this morning, I had to look up some record highs as we get into next week.
Oh,
so,
boy.
yeah, hold on tight. Let's get you started with a look at your clouds and radar this morning. A lot of cloud cover, even a few spotty showers kind of lingering up towards the north. Now, we've got that moisture in place. I have a 20% chance of a few pockets of drizzle in your morning forecast. I'm not necessarily seeing a whole lot in the way of heavy or meaningful rain, but we'll take the moisture. As far as what's happening outside live in southeast Austin, the view from our Whittlesey Landscape Supplies weather camera there, the reason I'm showing you this is because the flag nicely shows we still have a little breeze out there this morning, but the wind's not nearly as strong as what blew across the area yesterday afternoon. Those winds really got some of you, but I'll tell you what, the winds will be better today. The temperatures about the same as what we felt yesterday afternoon. Our temperatures this morning are running a little cooler in the 50s for most of us, some 40s kind of sneaking in where we've got the rain up north. But our temperature difference right now is 5 to 15 degrees cooler than what we had 24 hours ago. I think we're going to make up some ground this afternoon, though. So that's why I'm thinking it's pretty similar to what we felt on Tuesday, with that high likely to be close to about 70 degrees. Now, like I said, and like you heard the anchor say, today's going to be one of the coolest days. We've got 80s tomorrow, even 90s on the way as we get into the back half of the week. I've got a lot to tell you. The details coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Kristen. This morning we are learning a lot more about the horrific attack at a Nashville elementary school. That shooting leaving 3 students and 3 staff members dead.
The mass killing carried out by a former student who police say was being treated for an emotional disorder, but was still able to legally buy 7 weapons. 3 weapons were used during that ambush at Covenant School. Jay Gray is just across the street from the campus, where the investigation continues to unfold this morning.
With all the confusion and anger.
Overnight, this grieving community gathers, pulled together by the pain of overwhelming loss.
We mourn with those who mourn in our city right now.
Including hundreds drawn to the Covenant School since the attack.
The kids and the teachers just deserve more.
Substitute teacher Cynthia Peak, custodian Mike Hill, and Covenant head Catherine Coons. 9-year-old students Evelyn, William, and Hallie gunned down inside their school.
Nobody deserves that. Nobody deserves it.
The killing spree carried out by a former student, Audrey Hale, who shared this ominous message with a friend on social media just before storming the building, saying family didn't know about something bad that was about to happen and asking for forgiveness. The rampage ending with police rushing in, scanning classrooms, running upstairs toward the gunfire, ending the threat.
Suspect down, suspect down.
11 minutes after the first 911 call.
They finished it in less than what the average response time is. How can you call that anything less than incredible?
Now, investigators, like so many in this community,
we feel and hear their cries, and we're always there for them.
Struggling to understand what may have sparked the massacre. Jay Gray, NBC News, Nashville.
Many Central Texas school districts talked about improving safety on campuses following the Robb Elementary School shooting in Uvalde.
But it was clear some of those improvements would take money and would take time. And in the wake of the shooting in Nashville, we checked in with the Austin ISD to see what it has done already. Austin ISD is one of the largest districts in the state and announced upgrades to door locks, cameras, safety policies, and procedures. The district will also look at the 2022 bond for even more safety upgrades. Some of the projects will improve safety at all open campuses, which should begin in August of 2024. And there will be upgrades when new modernized schools are built, but that is going to take time.
I think where we see challenges are things that bonds can't pay for, right? That's, mental, it's mental health. It's different types of training. We can't use capital investments for that. As an organization, we're constantly trying to improve.
The Texas School Safety Center spent weeks last year conducting random safety audits at campuses all over the state. The goal, make sure districts were following safety policies and keep the campus secure.
We are also looking at the safety of major events here in Austin with the Country Music Television Awards coming to Austin this weekend.
Yeah, it's a big event, and in preparation for that, road closures, of course, in downtown Austin for special concerts and performances that are actually starting tonight. Organizers expect about 5,000 people of this evening's concert outside of the Capitol. APD says it's ready with overtime officers staffing the event. Nearby businesses say the city told them about the event, but they weren't exactly sure what to expect.
Looking forward to seeing how this goes. This will be the first time for me, so I don't really know what to expect, so I'll just be taking it day by day, really, and then I'll make adjustments.
This event kicks off just days after DPS announced plans to send in resources to help APD with staffing. A spokesperson for the city says the partnership, though, was not prompted by the CMT Awards coming to town in particular. Contacts here at the CMT Awards have been in Nashville since 1967, but the move to Austin has been years in the making. In November, the Moody Center told us it would create a fan experience that would attract major country music artists and their fans. The CEO of the Austin Convention and Visitors Bureau said the CMT events would have a huge financial impact on Austin and its tourism. Signs of better times for Austin renters. The latest trend that's showing a cool down in prices.
And the challenges affecting low-income residents in Travis County. What a new report says about affordability in the county. Good morning, a live look outside, and it is a quiet start to your morning. Not a lot of movement here from the camera in South Austin. It is chilly, though. Kristen will have more on your forecast in just a bit. We have some good news for you. If you are a renter, prices starting to cool off here slowly in Austin.
Yeah, the latest report that we're getting for Zumper says the average for one bedroom dipped for the last 3 months, averaging at $1,600 a month, which is still pretty up there. The company's data shows prices peaked last summer, averaging more than $1,700. Austin is still the most expensive out of all of the state of Texas because of the large number of people who continue to move to Austin. City of Bee Cave is honoring, of course, bees out of its Books and Bees Festival this weekend. Council proclaiming the bee an honored resident of the city.
City says it became an official Bee City USA affiliate 2 years ago. That designation coming from its efforts to promote bee education, encourage people to reduce pesticide use, and use more wildflower plants. The festival is going to feature authors as well as bee education and free wildflower seeds. Some Hays County medics not meeting national response time standards. We are looking at a proposed solution and why it may take some convincing.
And the latest on the trial of the man accused of shooting and killing an Austin protester nearly 3 years ago. What we could expect in the next few weeks out of the trial.
This KXAN News podcast is brought to you by Shelf Genie. I'm Rosie Newberry from KXAN Studio 512. Considering replacing your kitchen cabinets? Struggling to find or reach things? Go to shelfgenie.com/Austin. Shelf Genie designs custom pull-out shelves for your existing cabinets, adding convenience and value to the most used room in your home. Shelf Genie custom pull-out shelves, everything in reach.
Good morning, a live look outside from downtown Austin at our gorgeous Capitol. Lit up. It is dark and early. We're so happy to have you around here on KXAN News Today. I want to tell you about this. 15 minutes. That is how long it can take some North Hayes County Emergency Medical Services to get to the scene. Leaders saying response times are this long because of an increase in calls, but no increase in resources.
For one woman, waiting for an ambulance may have cost her life. KXAN's Sarah Alshay shares her story as well as the push to get more money to EMS.
I was screaming and crying out loud and to the 911 operator, when are they coming? When are they coming?
It was the longest wait of Carrie Napierkowski's life. Back in 2021, her contractor and close friend fell off the roof of her home in Dripping Springs.
We called EMS. It took 22 minutes for them to get to my home on a Friday at 5:30.
Napierkowski says North Hayes EMS didn't arrive in time. She was giving him CPR, and 17 minutes in, he passed away.
He was a genuinely good person.
We've got areas where it takes us between 24 and 30 minutes to get.
North Hayes EMS District Administrator Doug Fowler says response times are high because calls are more spread out and more are coming in.
For the first 2 months of 2023, we're seeing a 17% increase over the same time last year.
But even with an increase in demand, Fowler says there hasn't been an increase in funding. He says the current tax rate of 3 cents per $100 valuation on a home isn't enough for the extra ambulances and stations they need. So come this May, voters will decide whether to allow a future tax rate increase vote in November's election. Napierkowski says she understands some may not like the idea of higher taxes, but she worries the cost of not increasing it could be another life.
And life is too precious to be waiting 22 and 27 minutes for ambulance to get to you.
Sarah Alshay, KXAN News.
Fowler said at the most recent open house about increasing the tax rate that no one spoke up against that idea.
We've learned about 60% of emergency services districts in Texas are already at the state's 10-cent rate cap. Now, the city of Austin is working to improve its emergency response times here. The fire department's goal is to respond to an emergency in less than 8 minutes, at least 90% of the time. A city study in 2018 found several areas of Austin failed to meet that benchmark. That same year, council agreed to build 5 joint fire and EMS stations by the year 2024. Taking a look at the map here, a 2018 study by the city revealed Austin did not have enough stations to keep up with all of the growth. These are the areas that you see on your map and on our website, KXAN.com. That study found lacked services that impacted response times. You can see only 2 of the new stations are ready. The rest are either in the design phase or still under construction.
Central Health is releasing its 2022 demographic report. This report takes a look at challenges affecting low-income residents of Travis County. Some of the key findings are what you might expect. High cost of living and affordability is a regional issue impacting Travis and surrounding areas, and it's causing people to live further away. But Austin continues to be a key regional access point for health care, public transportation, and social services. The report also found 75% of Travis County families in poverty live along the I-35 corridor. Additionally, rates of diseases 2 times higher in those experiencing homelessness. Central Health is holding a community conversation to go over this report. It is tomorrow morning at 11:30. You can find that information and more from this report on KXAN.com. An extremely rare set of animals born at the San Diego Zoo. They are twin Amur leopards. Less than 300 of them exist, making them the rarest cat on Earth. And these are some of the rarest kittens. When the twins were born, it was especially significant. The cubs don't have a name yet, but they finally emerged from their birthing den with their mother. And that gave zoo guests a chance to get their first glimpse of the tiny cats.
Cutest cubs. They were born as part of a breeding recommendation through the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. Amur leopard species survival plan. There's a plan to keep them around. Now, each program is overseen by conservationists nationwide, ensuring genetic diversity, healthy, self-sustaining assurance populations of threatened and endangered wildlife. Translation, they have a lot of moms and dads watching over them, like worldwide parental viewing of them, making sure they're good.
I am now the mama of 2 little leopards. Those are so cute.
And now just so many people rooting for them, hearing hearing that whole backstory.
I know,
yeah.
I know. We got to protect those little guys as much as possible. Let me show you what's going on with your forecast. Happy Wednesday. We've got a little disturbance in the region. It's keeping those showers and thunderstorms close enough toward northern counties where it does bear watching. There's also going to be the possibility of a few spots of drizzle a little further towards the south. I'm not expecting heavy rain today, but if you see a little bit on your windshield, it's that 20% that I'm going with this morning. This big monster is going to be our next weather maker, dragging a cold front through the area as we get into Friday. So that's where my focus has been. Every day when I get up and forecast, I'm looking at that thing out west. It eventually is going to get into the plains here late week. So in the meantime, we're waking up to a mainly cloudy sky. 58 degrees with calm winds. Now, as we look at the rest of the day, those 50s will turn into low 60s and eventually will approach 70 degrees. That temperature trend is very similar, if not exact, to what we had yesterday. Yesterday, we topped out at 70 degrees in Austin, doing the same kind of thing today. I think our rain chances will drop pretty significantly once we get into the later part of the afternoon, but not a whole lot of sunshine. I think the clouds are going to win today. So afternoon highs area wide. I'll give you a second to find your neighborhood. Upper 60s to low 70s. Pretty good bet across the board. Now the rain chances, like I said, those are going to fade once we approach the later part of this morning. Mainly cloudy skies expected from start to finish. This takes us through the afternoon and evening. Now warm front moves through overnight. This is going to give us some of those low clouds and a few more spots of drizzle as we start Thursday. So Thursday, another 20 to 30% chance of light rain, mainly cloudy skies through the day tomorrow. How much rain could we see? Not a whole lot. A few 107 inch to maybe a few 10-7 inch if we're lucky with that drizzle tomorrow morning. But these rain chances are not going to do it for us as far as drought improvement goes. What are we looking at on Friday? Well, Friday there's going to be a few more storms and showers associated with that cold front attached to that storm I just showed you on the west coast. But unfortunately, this thing is going to be massive as far as the impacts go to the severe weather threat from Iowa down through portions of Arkansas. In fact, I would just say most of Arkansas expected to see severe weather on Friday, and then all the way through portions of the western Tennessee Valley here. This will be a huge weather story. The fact that we've got so much of the Mississippi Valley underneath a severe weather threat on Friday. So be on the lookout for that for our friends and family towards the north and east. We're not expected to see that severe weather threat here at home. 70 today, 78 tomorrow. Near 90 degrees on Friday. I mean, it's a quick warm up here. Look at your weekend. Low to mid 80s Saturday and Sunday. Sunday, I think we see a few more of those spotty showers and even a few isolated storms, but there's the Easter egg. Monday, Tuesday, not only are we talking 90s, we're talking record-tying heat. Both Monday and Tuesday, our first work week of April. We'll keep you updated on that.
This is KXAN Sports, brought to you by Thomas J. Henry.
Good morning to you. Time to get to work for Rodney Terry. He's got his 5th title at Texas, an assistant coach, an associate head coach, acting head coach, interim head coach, and then it became official. He is the head coach at the University of Texas the day after his 55th birthday. Some of the greats were there on hand, including T.J. Ford. Terry was an assistant back in that Final Four season. Also about family, talked about his late father who he lost this summer, and he had his mom there, his girlfriend there, his sister there. And on Monday evening, they had a special family moment.
They both would have the notifications. Anytime something comes up from ESPN, they have the ESPN notifications pop up. And we're having a birthday dinner last night at my house. And as we're finishing our dinner, we had a notification pop up. And my mom's like, "You're on the notification. You're on the notification." So again, it was really, again, it put everything in perspective. And I know at that moment we talked about my dad again, and he always saw me in a whole different light than I saw myself. And
what was it like to watch your son keep this thing together and do what he did?
It was really awesome, just awesome to watch him, to be so calm. And of course, I prayed a little for that as well, for him not to be anxious, just to go at it. And he did so well, and I was just so proud of him, just so thankful. It's about everyone else. He put them before himself, always. And that's the best thing, because look what happened. I mean, here he is, the head coach. But he's like that. Family, put them first. Everybody before himself. That's just the kind of guy he is.
Now to Texas baseball, 14-game win streak all at home. They go to College Station. Hadn't won there in their last, 12 years off and on, of course. And, they got a 2-0 lead on Porter Brown's 2-run single in the first. And then Dylan Campbell makes it 3-1. They left the bases loaded and had no outs in that third inning, but only got one. And then Lucas Gordon, their Friday night starter, comes in, gets a big third out there on the great play by Jared Thomas. And then Zane Morehouse comes in, an Aggie crowd trying to get to him. He worked in and out of trouble, to say the least, in the 8th inning, put the first 2 on in the 9th inning, gets it done. Longhorns' winning streak is now at 15 in a row. And they do win in College Station for the first time since 2011 and snap a 4-game skid to the Aggies. And now they're on the road in Big 12 action beginning on Friday night at Oklahoma State. Back to you.
Roger, thank you. Let's talk about politics this morning, because a Texas Senate bill that would ban transgender athletes from participating in women's sports could go up for a final vote today. The Senate gave SB 15 preliminary approval, and if it passes a vote, it then goes over to the Texas House. The Texas Tribune reports most House members have said they do support the bill. But here's what it would cover. It requires athletes to join the college sports teams that align with their sex assigned at birth. The bill also protects people who report violations, and it bans transgender athletes outside of Texas from taking part in competitions that are hosted in the state. For some perspective, close to 20,000 Texans between the ages of 18 and 24 identify as trans, according to a report last year from the University of California.
Thanks for joining KXAN News today. You can also listen to KXAN News Nightly every weekday after 5:30 p.m. for in-depth coverage on what matters most to you.